We understood what is JavaScript engine. So now let us understand how our JavaScript code is translated into machine code. Basically, how our JavaScript code is executed inside our JavaScript engine. We are having lot of steps involved, but mostly the work of JavaScript engine is to execute our JavaScript code. Each and every browser will be having their own JavaScript engine, but our focus is on V8 engine. And this V8 engine has powered Google Chrome and Node.js. Now let us see how our JavaScript engine will be working. So inside JavaScript engine, we have call stack and we are having heap. So these are the two components which are present inside this JavaScript engine. And this call stack is the one where our code will be executed. And this is called as execution. And inside this call stack, our entire JavaScript code will be executed. So now you have understanding where our code will be executed inside JavaScript engine. Then we are having heap. Inside this, we are going to have unstructured memory pool, and heap is the one where our objects are stored. So this is a simple overview. Inside JavaScript engine, we have call stack and heap. Inside call stack, our code will be executed, and inside heap, our objects will be stored. But now the question is, whatever code we are writing, how that is compiled into machine code, because our computers can only understand zeros and ones. So to understand that, we should know difference between compilation and interpretation, because our computer processor can only understand zeros and ones. So each and every program which we are writing, that has to be converted into machine code, and this can only happen using either compilation or interpretation. So in compilation, the entire code is compiled into machine code, and that code will be saved as binary file which can be executed by the computer. So here we are having two steps. First, machine code is built and then it will be executed. So here execution can happen way after compilation. And then comes interpretation. Here interpreter runs through the source code and it will be executed line by line. So here inside this interpretation, we are not having the two steps which we have seen in compilation. Here our entire source code is read and executed at the same time. And here also our entire code needs to be converted into machine code. And this will happen right before the code is executed. It is not like compilation. Code can be converted into machine code right before its execution. So before, JavaScript was purely interpreted language, but the main problem with interpreted languages are they are very slow compared to compiled languages. But now in today's modern world of JavaScript, we can create fully fledged web application. So in that, low performance will not be acceptable. Many people still think JavaScript is interpreted language, but it is not true, because instead of simple interpretation, modern JavaScript engine uses mix between compilation and interpretation, which is called as JIT, which stands for just-in-time compilation. So here entire code is converted into machine code at once, then it will be executed immediately. In this also we are having two steps, but here in this we are not having portable file to execute like how we are having in compilation. And here execution happens immediately after compilation is completed. And this JIT is perfect for JavaScript as it is very fast compared to interpretation, which will be executing the code line by line. Now let us see how this will be working in JavaScript. As soon as we write JavaScript code, it is going to enter JavaScript engine. And the first step is to parse the code. And parsing is nothing but whatever code we are writing, it is just going to read the code. And during this parsing, our entire code is passed into data structure called AST. AST stands for Abstract Syntax Tree. So what this will do, it is just going to split up each line of the code like const or functions, keywords, and then saving all these pieces into the tree in a structured way. In our code, we can have let, we can have const, function, keywords. We will be having lot of keywords. So entire thing will be split up and that pieces will be stored in structured way. But this AST is very complex, so you don't have to worry. Even for a small variable, you will be having 15 to 20 lines of code. So during this parsing, our code will be read and then code is passed into data structure called AST. And this AST is nowhere related to DOM. It is just a representation of our entire code inside the engine. Next step is the compilation, which will be taking generated AST and then it is just going to compile into machine code. And then the machine code will be executed right away. Why it is executed right away? Because modern JavaScript engine uses JIT, that is just-in-time compilation. And this execution happens in JavaScript engine's call stack. Now you might think our code is running and we can finish here and this is what JavaScript engine will look like. But actually it is not. Why? Because modern JavaScript engines are very clear. So they will be using clever optimization strategies. So at starting, what they will do, they will be creating unoptimized version of machine code which will start to execute as fast as possible. So in the background, code will be optimized during already running program execution. And this is not going to happen one time, multiple times this will be happening. And after each optimization, whatever unoptimized code we are having, that will be removed and we will be having new optimized code. And this entire process can be happening during execution. And during this process, our execution is not going to stop. And this is the process what makes modern engines like V8 engine so fast because all this parsing, compilation, optimization happens in a special thread which we can't access from the code. This special thread is completely separate from main thread which is basically running into the call stack for executing our own code. Now, as I mentioned, each and every browser will be having JavaScript engine. The implementation will be different, but this is how just-in-time compilation will be working for JavaScript. Now, I hope you have very high-level overview of how our code is compiled into machine code.